is your income at risk? Well, that's what many people have asked. The answer is yes. And what is so concerning about this is that the rumors that we've been hearing over the past are now becoming the reality. I want to address what's going on here because I know a lot of people are going to be impacted. We're going to have hundreds of millions of Americans that are going to struggle all because of what is happening right now. So, if you want to know what is going on and what has just occurred recently, make sure you watch this entire video and also spend 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's begin. So what are we seeing? Well, what we are now seeing is what we have been expecting for many months. We are seeing less and less companies hiring workers. This is very problematic. We're also seeing more companies completely move away from certain aspects of their business. And if you don't believe me, let me just break down what I have seen just over the past week. Okay? Again, this is just over the past 7 days. And if you're seeing any of these things where you live, let me know down in the comment section below as well. So some of the things, I wrote down a short little list. So an Office Depot near me has actually closed down their printing and shipping center due to a lack of employees. At least that's what management said. I also have seen a Walgreens, they are no longer printing pictures. They got rid of that simply because they do not have the employees to manage that as well. And this was a Walgreens that I've gone to multiple times in the past. And what I've seen is they used to have a dedicated person to the printing section. They, for pictures and whatever else, they had a dedicated person or people up front to at the registers to ring you out. But over the past probably year or so, the same person had to do the register plus do the printing section. And now they just got rid of that printing section. Let me know if your Walgreens or another store around you has done this as well. A Safeway fuel station, they actually recently reduced their hours, okay, their operation hours, simply because they didn't have enough workers. They only had one gas station attendant. So instead of trying to find another gas station attendant, they just closed down the on-site attendant little section for more hours, right? They just closed it down. So instead of being open from 8 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, I believe now it's from 9 to 5 or something like that. So just regular business hours. It's interesting. A McDonald's recently, they have 2 drive-through lanes, but they only open 1. Here's the reason why. According to management, they said they don't have enough cooks in order to process that many orders in 2 lines at peak times. So what do? They stick with 1 line. And I can tell you right now, I've been to this McDonald's multiple times. And the last time I went there, the line seriously snaked around the entire building. So as soon as I saw that, I just left. It's no, not staying in that line. No way. Okay. I've also seen a barbecue spot near me. They only seat 50%. That's it. 50% of the restaurant. That's all they will sit due to the lack of servers. Okay. And the other one is I recently had a friend tell me that he asked to get his carpet installed last year. Well, it took him about 5 months to get it installed because the lack of availability in assistants or workers. So it took him 5 months to get his carpet installed. That's crazy. And this stuff is happening all across the world, not just here in the US. But we need to be prepared for it. Not because we're all going to go get our carpet, get new carpet for our homes, or because we're going to go to a barbecue restaurant, or we're going to go get gas at a Safeway. No. The reason why we need to understand what's going on is because this is going to prepare us for what is coming. Okay? Here's where things get extremely concerning. Over the past few years, we have seen employers continue to put out job postings here and there, hoping to find somebody that is qualified, but this hasn't really happened. And again, I've talked about this before, where employers have, hiring, looking for work, whatever, looking for employees, and they have all these bonuses and, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, whatever. They were pulling out all the stops. Here's the problem. When people would come in and potentially be ready to start working, the employer would say, you're just not qualified. We need more qualifications. You just don't meet those yet. Well, today, we got the February JOLTS report. This tells us how many jobs are available here in the U.S. Guess what? That number went down. Companies are getting rid of their job listings. Why? Because they're not finding who they want. So they're just taking them down. Why bother going and talking to different candidates when there's nobody or the likelihood of finding the right person is so low? I even asked somebody, they're a manager at a grocery store, and I asked them, because they've had the same sign. The sign was faded. It's been sitting in the window for so long, the sun faded the sign. But I asked them, what are you looking for? What is the requirement that you need? Because I've seen the same thing. There's only one person back in the meat section. You want to find produce? Well, guess what? There's only 2 people stocking the produce, right? Stocking the shelves. They only have people doing it at night, not during the day. And it makes sense. But at the same time, when shelves are empty, you should be stocking the shelves. And I simply asked them, what are you looking for? And they want somebody with experience. Want somebody with experience that is willing to work for pretty much minimum wage. That's what they want. This is why we are seeing in this recent JOLTS report, which again, in the previous report, we were sitting at, I think, like 10.5 million available jobs. Today, according to the February JOLTS report, which is the one that just came out, we're seeing at 9.93 million jobs. We lost over 600,000 jobs simply because employers are not looking for employees anymore. They're actually getting rid of these jobs. This is the first time we've been below 10 million jobs since May of 2021. Now, the goal from the Federal Reserve is they want to see the labor market loosen. This is exactly what's happening. So what the Federal Reserve has been doing by raising interest rates, that is working to slow down our market, right? The labor market. But it's also putting more pressure on the American household, and this is going to draw down inflation. This is why, again, I tell you, we need to be well aware of what's going on, because if you are seeing it on CNN, if you're seeing it on Fox News, on Bloomberg, or wherever you get your news, doesn't matter. If you're seeing it on mainstream media, then you're almost too late. And in some cases, you will be too late. I remember back during the pandemic when it all started, and I was telling people, go and stock up on food. Go get groceries. Go get water. Go get toilet paper. Go get these things that are going to sell out. I remember telling my family, friends, I told a lot of people here on YouTube as well, go get this stuff because this can't last. Okay, we're going to run out. Guess what? We ran out. And so this is the thing. If you start seeing on CNN that, toilet paper is in short supply and everybody rushes to the store, guess what? You're probably too late. And for most people, they were. This is why I want you to be prepared. Now, here's what I can tell you. From this most recent JOLTS report, the available job openings versus the number of unemployed people is sitting at 1.7 to 1. It used to be at 2 to 1. The goal for the Federal Reserve is to get this number as close to 1 to 1, which means for every one unemployed person, we have one available job opening. That is getting this is getting balance. But that will also put a lot of pressure on the labor market. Okay, which means it's going to put a lot of pressure on you and I. But here's the other worry. Right now, we are seeing job openings simply go away. We're almost to the point where we see the actual jobs go away as well. When this happens, again, and this is going to be tough. When this happens, millions of Americans will lose the only source of income that they have. That's why it's extremely concerning. If you have multiple streams of income, great. And I remember when I was 16 years old, and one of my mentors at that time. Again, I've had mentors my entire life. One of my mentors at that time, and again, I was reading it through, I think a book that they wrote, or maybe I don't remember, saw him in an interview or something. But they said that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So ever since I read that, ever since I heard that, my goal was always to add more streams of income. And it doesn't mean you gotta go from 1 to 7, because I went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7, and so on. And that has saved me time and time again. So that's what I want you to do. It doesn't matter if you're working at a McDonald's and you decide, okay, I'm working at McDonald's, but at the same time, I want to sell stuff on Facebook. I want you to create an Etsy store, right? You can do these things. Let me give you an example. For example, when the pandemic first hit, right, and shut everything down, I remember talking to a bunch of my friends who also did exactly what I did. We'd sell private label products on Amazon. We'd get them manufactured and shipped from China over to the US, and we'd ship them off to Amazon, and we'd sell our products there. Still do it to this day. But for a lot of them, and for myself included, is like, I don't want to try to get stuff from China over to the US. And for a while, it was all shut down. Couldn't do it. Well, everybody else was panicking, not me. I wasn't panicking because I had multiple streams of income. I was selling online courses. Which made me a full-time income by itself. I had consulting clients that I had for years. I was running a social media marketing agency at the time, and I had many other businesses also. But the point that I'm trying to make is this, and it's pretty simple. In this economy, you cannot count on your employer as your only form of income, because they will let you go at a moment's notice if this is the difference between them losing money versus them staying profitable. They will let go of their employees. They will cut costs in any way possible. And this is why I'm telling you that your income is at risk, because again, the rumors that we've been hearing over the past couple of years are now becoming the reality. This is going to happen. We are starting to see small layoffs. Some would consider these mass layoffs. I don't consider these mass layoffs just yet. When we start to see, again, Amazon laid off another 9,000 employees just recently. When we start to see Amazon and Walmart and McDonald's, which announced just earlier this week that they are going through layoffs as well, when we start to see this, and we start to see Target, and we start to see car dealerships just going under, this is going to be very concerning, because again, we have been preparing for this. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of when. So, if you have any questions on what's going on here or what we could potentially see in the future, let me know. Ask your questions down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.